when my wife and I married in 1959, we couldn't afford a whole cake made by Floris. Floris now I think produces soaps and perfumes and things, but at that time was in Soho an absolutely wonderful cake and pastry shop. I've always been fascinated by cakes and pastries, rather more looking at them than eating them, I should add. But I also once went to the Floris factory and photographed them decorating cakes and making icing sugar figures. I have stacks of photographs somewhere of these things. But the picture was actually named after the cake maker by appointment. But we couldn't afford the whole work, so I bought a cake and I decorated it myself for our wedding. And a right mess I made of it. It's not like painting at all.
Can you describe the procedures you followed in making this particular painting?
Yes, indeed. I began with that motif in the center. And out of the motif spun out and formed, as it were, echoes of itself, or the way when you drop a pebble in water, you get ripples coming out. And that echo of itself grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And as it grew, I began to make paintings and inventions around the rest of the painting that were eventually swallowed up by that line as it spun out to the edge. So, for example, when I painted this big panel down here, the line had almost certainly only gone up as far as there. And the same with all the other things, all the other bits in the painting, all the other paintings are gradually consumed by that line, the sprayed line, sprayed and painted line, going over the top of them. When the line had consumed absolutely everything, the picture was finished, and I then placed little raised white acrylic dots, the rest is in oil paint and egg tempera, acrylic dots over the original image, as if to say, well, like with a decorated cake, you know, whatever is inside, it's now covered up by this stuff.
And you described the painting the line as both painted and sprayed, so how did you construct the line?
Well, first of all, a sprayed line, and then the oil paint runs along the top of it like a railway train going along the track. Again, the relationship between oil paint and egg tempera is important because the egg tempera, as I said, dries in the time, or is at least touch dry sufficiently for the oil paint to go over the top in the time it takes for the water to evaporate. So I was able to spray the background greeny blue color and then go over the top of it with red oil paint. And then when it got to this bit here where one overlaps the other, you'll see the line, the spray continues and the line goes over the top. So it's very much dependent upon the relationship between oil paint and egg tempera, how that line is formed.